Okay, so here's a deal that just came back across my desk. It's a vacant lot, 5,000 square foot in the Fifth Ward area. So what I like to do first is before I look at lot prices, obviously you want your lot to be cheaper than what the market's going for. I like to take a look at what the new construction has sold for. So simple criteria, 90 days, new construction, half a mile between the address. Search. Here you got the results. 11 have sold within half a mile for the past 3 months. So we have here, this is going to be a comp. Keep telling y'all this, man. This is pretty much the strategy that these builders are doing. They're doing one 5,000 square foot lot and they're building two townhomes and they're selling them. This is pretty much the strategy. So when you go back, um, I chose this one, these two. So I chose these two, 404, 950, 399, 900, 384, 900, and then I went with the 399. So, and the reason I didn't use this one because this is a three bed three, as opposed to these are all like three, 2.5. So when you see, yeah, it's three bed, 2.5, 1880, three bed, 2.5, 2,000 square feet, three bed, 2.5, 2,000 square feet, then three bed, 2.5, 1893. So that's the reason why. So like this is very important for you to know what the new construction is. I'm on the MLS here, so this is going to be the most accurate data that you're going to be able to get. So then next thing we need to do, we're going to go to right here. So this is a system software. If you need access to this software, just shoot me an email, a DM, private message, whatever. I'll send this to you. So what I like to do is obviously put in your comps, right? So here are the comps from the MLS. Um, I'll send this usually to my developer, or when I send my deals out on my mailing list, I usually put the land comps and then I'll have the new construction comps 90 days. So what we have here, how far it is from the subject property, the sales price, closing date, has the price per square foot. So that's set up. Obviously, it's just this your sales price divided by the square foot, and then that's just the formula for all of those. Built 2000, well, 2023, all three 2.5 square foot, very similar, all garages with the MLS number. So then what I do, keep that, have the median, the average. This right here is the average square foot. So you can see average, just pretty much equals average, and then drag all the way across. 11 home sales in the past 3 months, which is showing absorption. Another important thing too is the days on market. So you can see this is 30 days on market, 34, 15, 49. These are getting scooped up fairly fast. I mean, less than 90 days is less than 3 months. This is a month on market, a little over a month on market, half a month, and you got about a month and a half essentially. So this is really good right here. This is showing that people are buying in this area. So what I did was I went ahead, the average square foot is 1943. So what I went ahead and did was just multiply 1943 times the average. I came out to 397. So granted, this is what one of the townhomes should sell for. So like I told you, they usually build two and then well they'll build buy a lot, subdivide it, replat into two and build two of these. So I went ahead and multiplied this number by two. You can see right here. So this times two, then it came out to 795. So typically a builder's max that they want to pay for a lot is going to be 15% of what the ARV is. So since you're adding this up, 15% of what this comes out to 119. So I know the max that I'm going to be able to sell that lot for. Granted, they were able to get this price, or based off of my numbers, it's going to be 119. So what would you do? Typically, it's you look at how much money you want to make. I mean, do you want to make 3,000 per deal, 5,000 per deal, 10,000 per deal? For me, I want to do $10,000 per deal, right? If I can do 3 to 5 deals a month, that'll put me in a totally different tax bracket. So, I'm looking at, okay, if I want to make 10,000, I would start out with, honestly, I would start out at 100,000. I will offer 100,000 and try to sell this property for 110. Um, my max more than likely would be 107 and try to sell it for 117, which is still a pretty solid deal. You're under the 15%. You're seeing how fast these properties are they're getting scooped up. You can see the closing date for this one was actually this year, 2024. So I mean, if I feel confident that you'll be able to get $400,000 for both. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I would say the safe side, the highest that you'll be able to probably sell it will be 117. I believe 119 is pretty a solid price as well, but there is a teardown component on the property. So that's why like I said, I'll start out with 100, maybe go up to 105 and try to sell it for 115. But that's pretty much what you do. And then the same thing for the land, right? You go do the same thing on the MLS I just showed you, but just with lots. These are there's 5 that sold within the past 90 days. I only listed these 3 because the other 2 were south of I-10. When you're doing comps, you do not want to cross any major streets or highways because the values change exponentially, or they could change, right? So whenever you have all this done, you have your numbers. What I like to do, and this is why this software is so useful, is I like to get loan terms. I speak with private lenders on a day-to-day basis, just building relationships, building rapport with them, and that conversation is like, hey, what are the rates? What are your rates and your terms looking like for somebody who's built maybe 3 to 5 homes over the past 5 years with a 680 credit score? So they give me, 10, you can do a 10-9 on the rate, 65% LTV, 85% LTC, and then here we have 3 points, right? Typically these terms can get better as the underwriting continues to go, right? So you'll get like a preliminary term sheet based on the scope of work in your deal, right? What's your experience like? Where's the property located? What are you trying to build? How much did you buy the land for, or did you buy the land already? Like all that plays a role in the prelim terms. And as they're doing their underwriting, seeing what your liquidity is looking like, what your credit score is, what's your schedule of real estate owned, which is SREO, your builder's experience if you're not the one actually doing the building. Those may change the terms. They may make them more favorable for you, or they might not be as favorable, right? So here, see, what I did is I went ahead and plugged in. So what I did was I just went ahead and did the estimated value here for I did the estimated value for 397. Yeah, 397, 646. I believe I just multiplied that by 2. Let me just double check. Bear with me. Okay, so it really should be at 795. I don't know where I got the value at, but okay, so 795, 3. Boom. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so let me see if so right here, the loan amount, how it's important is basically you're going to be capped, right? So you see, you can go equals 65% of the estimated value, which is essentially the ARV. Okay, so you see, but you're at 86 for 88. You should be lower than 85. So let's try 510. Still a little too high. So let's go 508. Still a little high. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so we'll go 505. Let's say like 300. Okay, cool. We're getting closer. All right, let's go. Do the math. Okay, cool. That's fine for number 6. So you see we're 84.96. So $505,000 loan amount. So I put in, if a builder was to pay the 115 price, for the lot, right? Equity. So you pay cash for it. If you're trying to wrap if you're a builder, which I don't know a lot of them who do this, if they're trying to basically get the loan for the land and the loan for the new construction, I mean, it'll be pretty expensive. But you see, if you were to go ahead and buy the land cash, here you have your construction budget, which is the total is 480,000, which is basically $240,000 to build each 3-bed, 2.5 bath, 2,000 square feet. And how you come up with that number is, I was kind of conservative, so I just did $120 a foot. So if 120 times 2,000, you come out to 240. You're building two of them, so 480,000. Then we got property insurance. I just did 1,000 per home, so this comes up to 2,000, and then 3% on the points. You see here, your cash to close is zero. Like this is negative, so it's negative 2,460. So you buy this land cash, you get this loan with these terms: a 10.9 interest rate, 65% LTV, 85% LTC. Then we come down here, 3 points. I mean, you're not coming out of pocket anything, right? Now, when you look at the most important part is going to be what's your ROI, right? So you see here, we have your ROI is comprised of, so if beforehand it looked like this. It was just, but you have to understand borrower's initial investment. This is this is the closing, right? So you need to make sure that you're going to add in the fact that you pay cash for the land. Okay. So typically, let's just go 9 months. It's going to take you 9 months to build the two townhomes, right? So we go over, stretch it out. Here's 9. So now look, when you sell, you say you're on a 12-month loan. 12, typically they're 12 to 15, depending on the project, but 12 to 15 is a safe bet, a safe bet. I mean, look at your net profit and your return on investment. You don't drop below 50% until you're in month 14. So if it takes you 9 months to build, granted that you're not, marketing the property and trying to sell the property before it's done. So you say it takes you the average. So let's look at the average. Let's go back to the CMA, and granted, guys, these are the numbers, right? So let's look at the average. Like the numbers are going to tell the story. So the average is 32 days. 30, so that's a month. That's a month. So if the average is 32 days, you finish in month 9. This month, so you're going to net $90,000. That's a 63% return on investment. This is more than likely where you would be at. Let's find a color for it. I'm trying to get a nice, cool green. This is where you would be at. Even like, I mean, look at these returns. And I send these to developers and builders, like, and what I do is, I sometimes, I mean, in this instance right here, I might charge 1% to get them these terms from their lender. They may be coming, so I can take a deal. I can take a deal where I got the land under contract for 105,000. I sold it for 115 and made $10,000, right? And then I also charged them 1% or broker point. That's $5,000 right there. You see it. So I turned a $10,000 deal into a $15,000 deal by doing a little bit of extra work. You know, understanding loan terms, building relationships with lenders. So that way I'm more than just a wholesaler, right? I'm running accurate numbers here. You see, I can show you what your ROI is looking like. I can put loan structures together for you. Ultimately, I can help you go out and, get the best terms, or at least find you the best terms. And, if you decide that if they don't want to pay a broker point, that's fine. What I'll do is I'll just ask the lender, hey, what's the referral fee for that? How much do I get from that? Because if you look at this is how much they would make on this particular loan. 3% of this, right, of the loan, the loan amount, 505, 500. they're making $15,000, not to mention their servicing department. So out of the 50, like they're making 15 grand just for originating this loan. They, in my opinion, you can give me three, like, because at the end of the day, I would look at, if I'm charging 1%, that's five. So if you give me 3,000, you're giving me less than 1%. Or I might even say, hey, I'm charging 1% to you all. So like it's just a matter of you decide that. But this is how you separate yourself in this business when you're wholesaling, man. Like, this is not a get rich quick. You got to build these relationships. You got to follow up with these sellers. You're going to have deals where they have some hair on it, airship issues, memorandums. Um, if they have court hearing, open court cases and shit like that. I mean, this is all part of the game, but this is why you can make big money doing it as well. My largest deal to date was $20,000. $20,000, a check for that. That was in October, the last day of October in 2023. I got a check for $20,000. You can make money in this business, but it's going to take work. It's not get rich quick. This is not super easy. Once you look at enough deals, once you understand the software and understand your customers, your clients, some of them, they're all different. So you need to understand what they're wanting, and so that way you can know where you fit in and how you're going to provide the value. So that's pretty much what I wanted to show you today is how to get the comps, right? How to input the comps. Here's your land up here. Here's your new construction down here. How to apply lender terms to a loan worksheet to get, and this is not guaranteed, guys. This can be off. This title insurance, this could be 2,000, it could be 4. It's just a rough idea of where you would be at. Because I can literally just copy this down to cash to close, email this to 4 or 5 different private lenders and say, hey, can you match these terms? Can you beat these terms? My client owns the land. My client has this amount of experience. My client owns this. This is their liquidity. Da 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 da. Can you match these terms? And that's all it is. Pretty much, it's just conversations. I would recommend, if you are going to try to represent developers and builders, take a look here. I mean, this is pretty much what they're going to need in order to get a good term sheet, right? So, a loan application, a copy of ID, proof of funds, your entity docs, so your certificate of formation, your IRS EIN number, your operating agreement, your experience docs. So if you have a builder that works for you, they're going to have a resume, homes that they've built, details on their experience, their education, it's a resume, right? And then your sold HUD. So if you built 6 homes in the past 2 years and you sold them all, you should have settlement statements. Those are where HUDs are. So you should have those. So, I mean, you can have your client gather all that information beforehand, create a folder just for that particular client. So you have those docs. Your budget, right? So you're going to have a construction budget that's going to detail the soft costs, your hard costs, have something to have that filled out. That's not a deal breaker initially, but at least know this is how much it's going to cost. You might not have the line items broken down on the actual budget, but at least have the cost. Your architectural plans and elevations with the GLA key on it. So the GLA key is general living area. So your plans, your architectural plans is what's the scope of work for the home. Permits. Typically, if you don't own the land already, you're more than likely not going to have permits. What I would recommend is, when you're buying land and you're trying to do new construction, get the permits first, because permits could take you anywhere between 30 to sometimes 90 days. So if you close on a 12-month loan and you can't start your construction for 90 days, you see what I mean? You just lost 3 months out of the loan, versus get your permits first, get the loan closed. If you close the loan on a Monday, you're able to break ground on Tuesday. Or if it's Monday morning, you can start building that same day. Doing the lot clearing, getting the site prep and stuff like that done. the HUD settlement from the purchase, or like I said, if you're trying to wrap the purchase up inside the loan, they'll ask for the contract. If I can get, some of these things right here, I can help the builders out. And so that's what, you just got to be straightforward with them and explain this is how my process works. And I'm probably different than a lot of wholesalers because I do offer a service like this where I can broker loans for you as opposed to just selling you land. So I hope that helps you. If, like I said, if you want this software that I have, it's free. All I need you to do is just download it. I'll send you a link to do so, and we can go from there.